What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have a fun one today. We need to build a fuel system for the Subi. So this car already has a partial fuel system. It does have a AEM 340 fuel pump in it, and then we're going to do everything on the top end of the motor, from fuel rails, fuel injectors, fuel lines, all the way back to the hard lines of the car to be able to support the power that we're trying to go for. We come over here on the bench. We have all the WRX components that we need to get this fuel system ready to go. The injector that we're going to be running is a WRX 1000cc injectors. These guys do have the plug and play adapters with them. They literally should just be plug and play. We're also going to be running a set of WRX fuel rails. These guys are absolutely gorgeous. Everything here is going to be 6AN, and we have those adapters in here. So along with these two components, we're going to be running the full AN fuel line kit. This line should be about 10 feet of line, and then all of the AN fittings that we're going to need for fuel rails, all the way to connect to the factory hardline pieces. So this is going to be a lot of playing around. So these are the -8 to -6 adapters for the actual fuel rails. So we need to go ahead and get the fuel rails and the fuel injectors on the car so that we can mock up how much line we need for everything else. But in conjunction with the WRX fuel rails, fuel injectors, and fuel line kit, we're also going to be running a WRX fuel pressure regulator. This is a brand new used fuel pressure regulator. So this guy is going to be super easy to install because it uses all the same fittings. So we need to get all of this mocked up on the car so that we know how much fuel line we need to cut, where we need to tee, and basically how we need to get this guy installed. Alright, so I already ran into kind of a little issue. I already put the parts on order, so they should be here tomorrow. But with this kit, it's going off of, well, if you buy -8AN fuel rails, and I bought -6, it comes with the 4 adapters from -8 fuel rails to -6 lines. But since I bought -6, they only included 3 adapters from -6 to -6. So this one is missing one. And I already put the part on order to get the new 6AN line here. It's just kind of frustrating because now we can't really fully assemble this and get it set to go until tomorrow, which is fine. I can be patient, but it's just kind of annoying. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open up the fuel injectors, get the injectors set in, get the fuel rails on so that when we get the other part tomorrow, we only have to make one line. So we'll get everything else squared away and then finish it up tomorrow. But let's get these injectors out of their cases, put in the fuel rails, and then get them in the car. Alright, I missed a crucial part in my critical thinking skills here. I don't have everything I need to do this fuel system right now. I'll be able to get it done tomorrow, but here's what happened. I was looking at the AN lines, running from the fuel rails, trying to figure out how it works, because I'm using a different fuel pressure regulator than what the kit recommends, I guess. So figuring out that is also an issue, but the diagram that they give you is not the most helpful. So trying to piece this together myself, obviously it's going to take some time, but where I went wrong, the dummy inside my head thought that it connects to these lines, and it doesn't. It connects back to the factory hard line here, which is fine because I have all the parts for that, but I don't have the fuel line disconnect for this piece. I just used 2 screwdrivers on this one, but I can't seem to get all of the, I can't seem to get enough leverage on this side. And I'm also contemplating too, because these TGV deletes are bigger, obviously they're wider than the factory ones. You see how they scoop down like that? That gives you a little more room to play with where your fuel injectors go. So I need to figure out the proper way to route, the fuel injector connectors. On top of that, where am I going to mount the fuel pressure regulator for it to be able to make sense and be kind of out of the way? I still do need to take off the secondary air pump right here. And then once that's off, I think I'll put it like right here probably. But I need to get these lines off, so I need to go pick up the fuel line disconnectors for this side, and then we can start running lines, because I don't want to get halfway through, make a wrong cut, and then I'm just kind of screwed, Alright, so it is the next day, and we did end up getting the piece in the mail for the fuel rails, right here, the one that we were missing. This guy just threads right in there. And then our dash 6 connects to that, and then we are good to go. So we need to go ahead and throw some thread sealant on this one, and the other 3 on the fuel lines. And then we can go ahead and build the splitter line. That's going to mount right here and go directly from the feed line. So the thread sealant that I'm going to be using is going to be this Permatex sealant. It is meant for like fuel lines and all that stuff. So we're going to knock a little bit of this on all of these guys, and then they'll go on the other side of the fittings as well to make sure that nothing leaks. So this stuff is super thick, and you do not need a lot of it to cover the thread, so I'm just going to take a little bit like that. This stuff is basically just like liquid Teflon tape. Since we got those fittings on the fuel rail, next thing we need to do is we need to figure out where we're going to mount our fuel pressure regulator. And since we did the secondary air pump delete, which used to sit right here, now sits over here, there's 2 mounting brackets for the actual old bracket for the secondary air pump. And I think if we run a piece of aluminum from there and then bend it at a 90, we can set the fuel pressure regulator right here. And then that should really give us enough room, because these lines are going to be gone back to the actual fuel lines. This is where we're going to connect to. And that should be a good spot for the fuel pressure regulator, because all this is going to be out of the way. This is going to sit back over here on the engine. And that'll give us enough room, kind of clear everything up. And I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to mount it right there, so it'll sit kind of like this. I might make it at an angle so we can kind of sit it like right here, and then we can monitor fuel pressure that way. I might adjust how these guys are sitting in the actual regulator, but from there, once we get the regulator on, then we can start plumbing these lines. I think the first thing we're probably going to do is run this line and this line to the T, or the Y piece here, and that's going to run directly to the feed line. So we can just kind of mock that up, and then those 2 ports on the back go directly to the regulator. So once we get those in, then we can mount our regulator and make those lines to the correct size. They only give you 10 feet of this stuff, which you can obviously buy more, but you don't want to mess up the first go around. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. I want the T to go back underneath the manifold to here, so it can go to the feed. And I think right there is going to do it. So I don't have a grind. I mean, I have a grinder, but I don't have like a small enough wheel to be able to cut this off. So what I'm going to use is a brand new razor blade with some tape so I don't fray out any of this stuff right before my tape mark. So when building fuel lines though, you want to make sure that you don't get like any frayed material back, and you want to try to get the fuel line, the actual line piece, as far into this guy as you possibly can. And I've come to find out that it helps when you push down and twist at the same time to kind of get everything to line up. But you probably can't see it on camera, but that guy is as far in there as it can go. It is bottomed out. Using the tape helps the braid not fray so much, but not using the proper tools like a braided line cutter or anything like that tends to make it not as pretty. But realistically, you can't see it even though it was frayed, so it'll work just fine. And it's going to be the same process for this one. There we have one piece of fuel line. That guy should seal everything pretty good, and we shouldn't have any issues with leaks or anything like that. And then this guy's going to connect to the T that's going to go under the manifold. So now we need to repeat this process for the other side. Now before we repeat that process, let's make sure everything fits and kind of lines up the way it's supposed to. And it'll connect to the T right here, coming off the other line over here. And then this is what's going to feed the injectors. So the line coming off of this T is going to come from the feed line. There we have our second piece of braided fuel line. So let's go get this guy back on the car and see how it looks attached up to the T. So that's how it's going to look running from fuel rail to the T, fuel rail to the T. The T is back there behind the intake right here, and that is where feed line is going to run into there, feed the two fuel rails and the injectors, and then the other two coming off the other side of the fuel rails is going to go into both sides of the fuel pressure regulator, and then we'll have one line from the return down into the return. That'll make it super simple for the future when we figure out how to put flex fuel in the car and run in just straight E85, because you want to have a flex fuel sensor to be able to read your ethanol content. Obviously, having that one line from the return, you can easily pop that off, hook it into a flex fuel sensor, and then run the flex fuel sensor back into the return. So super simple that way. It'll be super easy, especially having the fuel pressure regulator sitting over here. But then other than that, we just have to make 3 more lines and we're good to go. Before we make those 3 lines, we need to get this fuel pressure regulator mounted so we know how long our lines need to be. And this should hopefully be our bracket for our fuel pressure regulator. This guy's going to sit up against where the secondary air pump used to sit, and then the fuel pressure regulator is going to bolt right up here. So this is kind of right where I want it to sit, right in here, and then the fuel pressure regulator is going to sit right on top of that. This guy will eventually get powder coated, but we need to see if it'll even work. Alright, so that's the bracket that we built, and I'm gonna have to cut a little notch out of this right here because the return line on the bottom needs to be able to sink into that. So I'll have a little notch here and then 2 little holes there to mount the actual regulator to. That should work like a charm, and that'll give us all the space in the world with the fuse box and everything, so it's not touching anything. And then we'll get that guy powder coated. Alright, and that's how it'll sit in there, and we should be able to mock everything up now. 1 line to the return, and we have 2 lines from the rail to the regulator, 1 line from the feed to the Y. And that should be all she wrote on there, and then we can have, and then since we got everything mocked up, we can pull everything off, powder coat that bracket, thread seal all of the joints, and we should be good to go. Alright, I think that's going to be a wrap on today's video. We have all the fuel lines plumbed. The only thing we have to do is take off these lines, plug in the new ones, and then hook up that last line to the regulator. But other than that, we just built a fuel system for the Subi. So like I said previously, it's DeechWorks 1000cc injectors with DeechWorks -6 fuel rails. And then we have -6 braided line all the way through with a DeechWorks fuel pressure regulator, and then we have the fuel pressure gauge on there as well. But all in all, it's coming out good. So now the last thing to the puzzle is going to be an up-pipe turbo and then routing all of the vacuum lines. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video right here. I appreciate everybody sticking around for this video, and if it helped you, that's amazing. Never built fuel lines before, and I think it turned out pretty good. Could probably be a little cleaner. I think there's some clips and stuff that I need to get, but other than that, it's just about done. We're about ready to hit the key. We just have to kind of make sure that everything is in order and good to go, and then we'll be ready to party. But I'm gonna wrap it up right here. I appreciate all of you, so thank you guys so much. We just hit 1,100 subs. That's freaking crazy. I'm like 3 hours away from having my videos be monetized, which is nuts, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.